Good evening, I'm Patrick Cassidy, Artistic Director for Studio Tenn, and welcome to Studio Tenn Talks. I want to tell you first about some exciting dates we have coming up. Next Monday, December 7th, we are going to have our recital show right here on Studio Tenn Talks. Our Education Director, Casey Hebel, and I are going to host our students who perform acting and singing and dancing. You do not want to miss it. It is incredible. On December 17th, we are going to have a Tennessee Christmas. This is going to be our annual fundraiser with all the talent from here, local Tennessee, and Patrick Thomas is going to co-host it with me. You do not want to miss that. We have VIP boxes for 2 or for 6 going. Get them before they sell out. We have an incredible online auction with items that you won't believe. Put a bid in there. That's on December 17th. And then on December 21st, us, Studio Tenn Talks, and Pajama Cast Party with co-host Jim Caruso are combining our talk show, and we have an array of guests from Broadway. It's going to be a tribute to all the Broadway women. That's at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on December 21st. And finally, our Fall Barrel Bash. Now you can go to fallbarrelbash.com and you can enter to win. This sweepstakes has the best bourbon in all of Tennessee. They have bottles for $1,200, and you can get them for a gift, for Christmas, for yourself, or if you want to send the host something, I'm always here. Anyway, do that. Tonight, we have a very special Studio Tenn Talks, Patti LuPone once again. It was our highest viewership. Tune in tonight. Patti and I talk about some incredible things, and she asks me some very revealing questions. Take a look. What do I say about this person? Well, let's start with this long, wonderful list. She is the Theater Hall of Fame inductee that has won 2 Grammy Awards, 2 Tony Awards, and 2 Olivier Awards. Most recently seen in Marianne Elliott's new production of Company as Joanne, winning the What's on the Stage Award and the Olivier Award for her performance. Recently, she made her debut with the New York City Ballet as Anna in The 7 Deadly Sins. I saw you, Patti, in that. You were amazing. Winner of the Tony Award, the Drama Desk Award, Outer Critics Award for Best Actress in a Musical, and the Drama League Award for Outstanding Performance of the Season for her performance as Madame Rose in the most recent Broadway production of Gypsy. A graduate, I'm going to talk to you about this, of the first class of the Drama Division of New York's Juilliard School, and a founding member of John Houseman's The Acting Company. Some other Broadway credits include The Anarchist, Anything Goes, War Paint, Women on the Urge of a Nervous Breakdown, The Cradle Will Rock, Noises Off, Oliver, Evita, for which she also won her first Tony Award, Working, and The Robber Bridegroom. We're going to talk about that. The original Fantine in Les Mis, the original, #1. And her film and television credits include The Song Spinner, Driving Miss Daisy, Witness, Parker, David Mamet's Heist, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Penny Dreadful, Girls, American Horror Story, Glee, Hollywood, and Frasier. Please say hello to, oh God, am I such a fan, Miss Patti LuPone.
You doll, thank you.
I could go on and push back. That was this much of your bio. This much. You look beautiful.
Thank you, Patrick. You look very handsome.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to flirt with you all night. Sorry, I just have to do it. So I want to talk to you. I have so many things to ask you. We're going to have so much fun, but I want to talk. Do you remember this? Oh my God, Elisa, we're going to get this all night. So looks so excited for this show. These are all, there we go. That's our Jennifer. Pinch me. It's Patti LuPone. Yes, it is Jennifer.
Hi,
Jennifer was on the show too. So, do you remember the first time we met?
No.
Okay. I do.
COVID has my brain. It's got my brain.
It's got everybody's brain.
Yeah, and I can't remember anything anymore.
Okay, that's okay. I remember it. I will remember it always. Okay, so it was at the Sondheim tribute at Carnegie Hall, and when you sang "Being Alive," and I did the thing with Victor Garber, and this is how we met. Well, first of all, I was a ridiculous fan. You don't know this, but I saw you in Evita before it went to New York.
In LA.
Yes, in Los Angeles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I became a Patti LuPone like fanatical fan.
Thank you.
So then and trust me, there's going to be all the times that, and the second time I met Patti, and the third time I met Patti. So this was the first time. And what happened was I was in the green room watching you do Being Alive and sat there in just awe. And I thought, I have to meet her. And for some reason, our paths didn't cross backstage until the party. And you were sitting and you had a martini. And all of a sudden, from across the room, about 15 feet away, I hear, "Hey, doll." And you were looking in my direction. And I came over and you were so kind and you hugged me and I was done. I was done.
That was a long time ago. That was what, 1992?
Yeah, they see COVID hasn't done it. You're good. You were unbelievable. So we have so many things to show. That was the first time, and then it was about, okay, when's the next time? When can I get to see
we
her?
worked together so beautifully in Etiquette you've been at Ravinia and had a ball.
Beyond. And I will get there, but I have to show our viewers the first time I met you, your performance of Being Alive from that night at Carnegie Hall. So ready? This is Patti LuPone with Being Alive.
Wow. Oh, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, but I've seen you. Look, see, we are all dying, Patti. That's my wife saying that to you. That's Melissa saying that to you. Okay, so that's just a glimpse. Now I want to go back with you. Tell me before Sondheim thing, before Evita. Tell me about the John Houseman acting.
Well, we were. I went. I was a member of the first class of the Juilliard drama division in 1968. In order for them to move down, in order for Juilliard School of Music to move down to Lincoln Center, it had to become a complete performing arts wing. So they added a drama division. Michel Saint-Denis and John Houseman were the co-artistic directors. And after the 4 years, John's idea, Mr. Houseman's idea, was to form an ensemble like APA Phoenix, like the Mercury Theater. And so he was training actors, hoping that this would happen. And it in fact did. When we graduated from Juilliard, we were given our equity cards and a seat on a bus. And we toured for 4 years, classical theater, classical plays, 6 plays, 50 weeks out of the year. And the repertoire changed every season. It was an extraordinary experience. It was the experience that gave me my technical armor. And I would have to say my emotional armor too, because we were thrown into, we were kids, vulnerable, inexperienced kids. And we didn't know a great many things that have to do with life and that have to do with theater or show business. And it was sort of trial by fire. And I thank God that I went on the road and honed my craft with the acting company. Thank you, John Houseman. We didn't know how to tour. So in the first year, we lost all of our bookings. We only did these plays for 3 days or 3 nights at Juilliard. And so when we came to the 4th performance, it fell apart. We didn't understand maintenance. We didn't. And then they had a touring company book us called Herbert Barrett. We used to call him Grin and Barrett, because he was used to booking chamber orchestras, not massive Elizabethan Jacobean restoration sets and costumes. And we were on one-night stands, and I say this in my book that, we would travel 10 hours, arrive at the theater, throw up, put on a corset, do the 3 Sisters, go to a motel, go to sleep, get up the next morning, do another 10 hours to another city, could be another state, do a different show.
So it was really it's like rep, but rep on the road. Rep on the road.
Revolving rep on the road. Wow. And I remember when we arrived in Conway, Arkansas, we were doing the 3 Sisters, and I said, why do we always have to do the 3 Sisters or Chekhov and the Boondocks? That audience was faster and smarter than we were. So I don't underestimate audiences across this country, especially the Midwest, where I would have to say every place. I don't underestimate the audiences. They are more jaded in cities than they are in rural environments. And they're more, I think, probably ignorant than the Midwest or the Southwest or the South, because they don't get the theater. So they're hungry for it and they prepare for it. And that was a big learning experience. And then, of course, the bad experiences were insane. We were heckled in St. Joe, Missouri. We were doing The Time of Your Life. And it's as if these kids had nothing to do. So they bought tickets just to heckle the cast. And we had gay men in the company, and that was being slung up on the stage. And the straight guys in the company was about to be a rumble. And we got on the bus that night going, where are we and why? Why are we doing this? Oh. And we had some pretty intense experiences, but as I said, it armed me in 15 years, in 4 years for 15 years experience in 4 years. It was unbelievable.
For your whole career. How many actors in the company?
21. Wow. And then when we started, we had 1 stage manager who also did the lights, 1 wardrobe person, and 1 prop person. And that was like crazy. And the wardrobe person, Karen Eifert, and she's still a wardrobe supervisor on Broadway, but she also taught us that if we take off our costume, and we're talking restoration costumes, Jacobean, major costumes, we drop them on the ground. That's how she put them in the road box. That's how we got them the next night. Wow. So she taught us to hang up our costumes, to care for our costumes, to care for our props. And that's a very big lesson.
Yeah, she taught you. It taught you the etiquette of the theater
Yes.
and what we do. Yeah, no,
And what the actor is responsible for.
for
When I work in television or film, the on-set dressers always know. They said they always know who comes from the theater because they hang up their costumes.
Yep, they hang it up. Yep, you're right. I say that all the time. All the I teach. I say all the time. So one of the shows that you did with John Houseman's company was The Robber Bridegroom, right?
Yeah.
And with
Naked as a jaybird.
what? Yeah, I was going to get to that question. I know. I got to play Jamie Lockhart.
I bet you did. I bet you were great, Patrick.
God, I love that part. And it's not done a lot, although The Roundabout did it like 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. But okay, so tell me about that, because I know you were naked on stage. It was first time?
Yeah.
Last time?
Yeah. I think it was the first time for sure. I got the hair, the hair came down and covered up, covered up my private part. And then, and the trees covered. Well, our production was pretty extraordinary. Donald Sadler did the choreography. Jerry Friedman directed it. And it was actors who sang, so we understood the slapstick of the script. That's my objection with the Roundabout production. It was not funny. And this
really? I didn't. No, and that show is very funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's so funny, and it was sort of I don't know what it was, but our production was pretty funny, and the choreography and the staging was spectacular with a combination of Donald Sadler and Jerry Friedman, and we toured that one around the country and did a run. This is very interesting because we came to the Harkness Theater, so we were in a Broadway run with 5 plays. One was The Rubber Bridegroom during the musicians' strike of that 1976, I think. And because we were recorded, we were allowed to go on. Because we only did 1 week of each play. We were in residence for a month at the Harkness Theater. So the Robber Bridegroom was 1 week, and we thought, oh no, we're not going to be able to do the Robber Bridegroom, but Equity allowed us to, and that was my first Tony nomination.
Oh my gosh! And Kevin, was he great in that part?
And Kevin was. Sometimes he was. Sometimes he was. Sometimes he was.
It's such a good part for him, though.
Oh, it's great! It's a great part. Oh my God, it's a great part. But sometimes I don't know. Kevin, I guess, didn't feel it. I don't know. But it was pretty damn funny.
What happened when it went to New York? Because I've heard, to Broadway.
Well, if you want to know the whole story, it's in my book. The whole story is John Houseman saw the St. Clements production with Rhonda Coulee and Raul Julia. I think it was Raul Julia. I could be mistaken. He commissioned it. He optioned it for the acting company. And we were made to audition for our parts. And I thought, well, I'm looking around. Nobody else here sings. If I don't get it, Kevin auditioned for the St. Clements production and didn't get it. Kevin auditioned for the acting company and got it. I got a Tony nomination. Alfred Urie got a Tony nomination. This was such a success on the road that Mr. Houseman wanted to bring it to New York after we did it in New York. And we all had to re-audition for our parts.
Oh, no.
And I had a Tony nomination. And Kevin auditioned and didn't get it. So Kevin auditioned for it twice and only played it 3 times and only played it once. I was so insulted. And I said to Margot Harling, I said, you're not only negating my talent, but you're negating the training of me. Right. Because it was the exact same people. It was Jerry Friedman who taught us at Juilliard. It was Bob Waldman. It was Alfred Urie. It was John Houseman. It was Margot Harling. They were everybody that was involved with this production, with the acting company, and John and Margot with our training at Juilliard. Mm-hmm. And I would not audition. I went, you know what? It's such an insult. Totally. And they said, would I stand next to Barry Bostwick? And I went, okay, I'll do that. But the thing that happened was I had on one of our breaks with the acting company, I auditioned for The Baker's Wife, for Genevieve and The Baker's Wife.
Mhm.
And I remember, I was with Kevin at the time, and we were in Ann Arbor in a motel room waiting because we had a month's residency at the Power Center in Ann Arbor. And it just through my stream of consciousness, it came out, the Baker's Wife went into rehearsal today. And then when we got off the road, or rather we left the acting company, Kevin and I, 11 members of the company after 4 years left, I got a telephone call from Helen Nickerson, who was David Merrick's general manager, and said, we want you to replace Carol Demas in The Baker's Wife. And I was dumbfounded because I was right in the middle of the whole Robert Bridegroom thing. And I called Mr. Hausman. I had a meeting with him, and I called Mr. Hausman. I said, I have to cancel the meeting because I've been offered a part in California in a musical. And he paused and he said, don't sign anything until you talk to me. And I went, you know what? It's too late. It's too late.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? This is something I was so hurt by this.
Yeah.
And of course, now everybody's blaming everybody else. Margot Harley says it was Bob Waldman, Waldman, enough of that, whatever. But so then I went and did The Baker's Wife, which was the biggest flop. And at the time, you probably remember this in California, there was the Civic Light Opera.
Sure.
So you'd play the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in LA, then you'd go up to the Curran in San Francisco.
Right.
And my brother was doing a chorus line, and we flipped, but no, so that has nothing to do with it. What I'm trying to say is I kept reading the reviews of The Baker's Wife. I mean, of
Robert Bridegroom. Wow.
And I made the flop.
I had the same experience, and I'll just quickly tell you, when I did Aida, I auditioned for Disney for the first national tour, and I auditioned, and I had one of those great auditions. I knocked it out of the park for Robert Falls, the director, Stuart Oken, who was the rep for Disney at the time, and they offered me the role. And the money, well, we know Disney's not incredibly generous. The money wasn't great, and I said no. I had a quote, and I was like no. So I turned it down. They said, see you, Pasadena. So then I'm doing Frank Butler on Broadway in Annie Get Your Gun, and 5-6 months have gone by, and they come back to me and they said, Patrick, we want to offer you the part. We'll pay you what you want if you come back in an audition.
Oh my fucking God!
Yes, exactly. And I said, I didn't say quite that, but I said, I said, wait, you want me to audition for something that you offered me already? You want me to audition? And now my hair is white because I'm doing Frank Butler, and I didn't prepare, and I forgot the songs. And they said, yeah. And I said, no, I'm not coming. I said, you offered me this role. I said, because I knew that I could only lessen the audition, even if I nailed it.
It's an insult to your talent. It's an insult to your sensibility. It's an outrage. They already know. Why are they putting us through this? The same thing happened to me with Kiss Me Kate. I had just come home. I don't know where I came home from. I think it was London, whatever. But Roger Berlin and Biff Liff kept calling. They thought I was perfect for Lily. Honestly, Lily Vanelli. I was going, Millie Vanelli. What's her name? Lily Vanelli. Lily Vanelli. And I said, this isn't my part. In the best of all possible worlds, I would have been a Bianca, but I'm not a dancer. Lily Vanelli is a soprano. Mm-hmm. But they tortured me, and they called me and they said, you need to come in. It's Michael Blakemore. And I thought Michael Blakemore was a fucking genius. He is. I don't know. So I said, I'm not going to do this. And will you at least sing through the score with Paul Gemignani? And I went, all right. So I went over to Paul Ford's house. Paul Gemignani was there. We had to drop it a key. Wasn't that bad. Then they said, would you meet with Michael Blakemore? I said, of course I'll meet with Michael Blakemore. And I had dinner with him. And then they said, and now you can come in and audition.
No. What was that little phrase that you used the other day, a few minutes ago?
I said, it's such a waste of my energy, such a waste of time, and it hurt so bad. And I said, no. Wow. I said, there's no way. I'm going to audition. I had to explain this to the director. I said, I want to work with you. But what it does is it also affects our quote.
Totally.
You know, it's insanity that we are put in these positions. It's destructive because say we went in audition, we come into the rehearsal room with an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I have to go? You knew what you wanted. Mm-hmm. What was the point of me auditioning? To humiliate me? To have power over me? Mm-hmm. You know, why do they do it?
And what I learned about the Disney thing is that the only time an actor has any power whatsoever is when they go, no.
That's right.
It's the only time.
My first agent said the most respected answer in this business is no.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm convinced, and I have nothing to compare it to, but I'm convinced I made the most money from Disney that anyone's ever made, at least in that show.
And they run the world. Geez.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. So as I said to you, I had seen you in Evita in California, in LA, and tell me and tell us about that whole experience. Did you must have had to audition for Hal and must have had to audition for Andrew and all that?
No, Andrew really wasn't Andrew at that point. Andrew and Tim were not. The person in control, the person that had all the power was Hal. Hal was not only the director, but he was also, his office was the general management. So, and Robert Stigwood was the producer who was pretty much in absentia. So Hal ran the whole show. And Andrew and Tim went around in rehearsal and, they came to the opening and stuff, but
you're kidding. Really?
No, they weren't there.
Wow.
It had been done in London. This was the the American premiere. And I actually don't know why they were there, or they were there and I didn't see them.
But that's unbelievable. I mean, it's the Broadway company going to Broadway.
Well, yeah. After opening that, I got 2 letters one from Tim and one from Andrew. And I just stuck them in my scrapbook because I was a wreck. I couldn't sing it. I couldn't play the part. When I got the role, I was doing 1941 in California, and I was in my friend's living room, and I thought about what was going to happen to me, and a big smile came on my face, and I went, "That's the way I'm going to play Evita." I said, "What I said was, I'm going to go on a roller coaster ride," and then I went, "That's what Evita did." And I wanted to play her with this knowing smile. Look what I got. Look what I got. Look what I got. And my first day of rehearsal, Hal said to me, "I don't want any smiles and gnarled hands." And I went, "Oh my God. I'm totally screwed."
At least you made a choice.
Well, I have to say his version didn't work because not exact. And I changed it actually in the middle of the LA run while I couldn't say it. I mean, my experience with Evita was it was trial by fire. This was, I'm born for musicals. This was the biggest test, and I was failing. Wait,
I am so confused. This is your first Tony Award.
Yeah, but I was failing. It was devastating. I mean, first of all, it's written at a pitch that is what we call the passaggio.
Yeah.
All of her high notes. And if you're going to have the Evita Peron harangue, you can't sing it lyrically.
Right.
It doesn't sound right. So if you're going to be on the balcony of the Casa Rosada and you're going to be haranguing these people, it's all of the notes, D, E, F, are in my passaggio, the weakest part of my voice. And I didn't know how to sustain them, and I kept blowing out my voice. And then, of course, I was dealing with what Hal wanted me to do, which was the audience didn't know what to make of Evita Peron to start off with. And the audience didn't know what to make of this whole piece because it was sung through, it was modern music, sort of modern opera, kind of, Hal, God bless him, took all the rock and roll out of it because the concept album is Julie Covington, David Essex, and Carl Wilkinson, and it's rock and roll, really. So he made it more dramatic, and but we're used to Rodgers and Hammerstein. We're used to tuneful stuff, not dissonant. And music was dissonant. It was also an exposition. And if you don't read the program, if you don't follow 1944 and 1945, you don't really know what's going on. Mandy and I actually had to lasso the audience to go, just let us take you through it, because the whole thing is just exposition. She's here, she's there, she's there, she's there, she's there, she's dead.
Like Superstar. Superstar is very similar too.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to hold an audience, and it's difficult to sing. And I was a mess. The only time the clouds broke for me when I was in the specific Pacific Heights. Is that what it's called? You know, in San Francisco, Pacific Heights. Yeah. Mansion. I was in some major house, not a mansion. It was like a big, huge Victorian house. That at night the mice would come out and jump in their rat poison, and it was fucking unbelievable.
Oh God!
My pillow, and all of a sudden, oh my God, because they would have the rat poison all over the house, and I didn't think to go get me out of this house. And then one night I came home, opened the door, and you could see straight through to the kitchen, and I saw a mouse sort of in a position like this, and I walked, and it didn't move, and I looked at it, and I went, I don't know what to tell you. And then I got on the phone and talked to my friend for about 45 minutes. And when I got off the phone, the mouse was still like that. And I got down on the floor and I looked the mouse in the eye and I said, I didn't poison you. Not my fault. And the mouse literally went,
oh God.
A scaring contest. No. And then clouds broke and I went, you know what? I'm going to figure this one out. I'm not going to be depressed about it. I'm just going to do the work. And I actually went to a man in the chorus, and I said in LA, and I said, David, what's the vowel song for glory? And he said, go for the O. And he said, funny you should ask me that, Patti. I said, what do you mean? He said, my husband asked me last night if I could help you. And I went, the gods, theater gods sent me to you. And I worked with David Vosberg every day from that moment on through the run in New York. Every day I worked with him. And the only time I really felt like I could sing that score with abandon was Australia.
Really?
After New York.
But okay. So we play a little game on this show. And this is a huge thing for me. I told you, I haven't even gotten to the third time I met Patti, let alone the fourth time when I worked with her. But we play a little game on this show. It's called Remember the Lyric.
Ooh.
Now,
I can't remember anything.
Treat Williams said the same thing. He goes, I can't remember what I ate this morning. But this is, I'm not, trust me, I would never put you in a position of saying, so what it is it's a song that you sang. It's a song that you, from a show, I will sing the first lyric, and that's the thing that I get to sing with you. And then I'll point to you, and you come back with me the lyric. Okay.
Okay.
Now I think this is the right key. Okay, ready? Don't cry for me, Argentina.
The truth is I never left you.
All through my wild days.
My mad existence.
I kept my promise.
Don't keep your distance.
Yeah! I got to do it. Don't cry for me, Argentina with you. Are you kidding? I'm such a fan. I can't take it.
Patrick.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Well, I'm a fan of yours. You know that. You know how much fun we had.
Oh, my God.
We had such a blast.
Okay, so the second time I meet Patti LuPone, okay? Now, okay. So you're doing Gypsy on Broadway, which was your second Tony Award, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember when I brought my mother backstage?
I do.
Do you remember what you did?
I got down on my knees.
You shot. Oh my God, you remember.
I do. Your mother means a lot to all of us. Your mother she's a goddess of film. That voice, that beauty. I mean, and she's a wonderful actress. She has everything.
Yeah.
And it,
You're making me cry over my
well,
mother.
I almost wanted to cry. I'm a fan. I am a tourist and I'm a fan. And when you meet someone that you have idolized, I fall apart. I don't know what to do because I can't believe I'm actually seeing that person. And when your mom came, I was, awestruck. I was awestruck.
Well, honey, I can't tell you I'll never forget that moment. Because that was when I had brought my mother back to New York, because she didn't really do a lot of Broadway. She had done movies and stuff like that. And we're doing 42nd Street, and she was in New York for the last time she had been in New York. They didn't have microphones. They were sing out, Louise, you hit the back row, and I brought her and she just went crazy for the show. And I said, Mom, you have to meet her. And secretly, I just wanted to see you myself. But I brought her back, and you came out from the room, and you literally got down on your knees and did exactly what you just did. And I will never forget that moment, nor will my mother.
Nor will I. She came backstage. You brought her back.
So that was number 2 for me. I have to also ask you, you have become, an icon in so many ways, but one specific way is that you have become the cell phone policewoman.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk about this, but I'm going to first show, and by the way, bravo. Thank God you speak for so many of us. And
It's gotten better.
What? Oh, it has. But we have a clip of you from, I guess it was Good Morning America, one of those big talk shows that shows you. So watch this second clip. Patti LuPone with the cell phone.
Very satisfying moment in the theater. We all know how annoying it can be when someone's texting during a show. The actors hate it most of all. So Broadway legend Patti LuPone took matters into her own hands, snatching away the offending phone. ABC's Cecilia Vega has the story.
Hi, everyone.
She is a Tony-winning queen of Broadway.
I know it.
But this morning, Patti LuPone is starring in a new role, cell phone police.
She was texting through the entire first act, and she was sitting right there in the second seat. It was, everybody can see, look how teeny this theater is. And she was oblivious to everybody except for herself and her phone.
The legendary star reenacting the real-life drama on stage last night.
It was right here. It was this lady right here, and I just grabbed the phone and went,
LuPone snatching a phone from an audience member mid-performance on Wednesday.
I feel bad for the people that come here to have a theatrical experience, and it's ruined.
That audience giving LuPone a standing ovation on Twitter. Way to go, Patti. When the lights came back on, an usher returned the phone.
Bravo. Bravo. And the first time was Gypsy?
First time that I what?
With the cell phone, where you actually called somebody out?
Yeah, probably the first time. What the audiences don't know in every single production that I'm in, I can't speak for any other actor, is how many times we don't stop the show.
Oh, yeah, that's
how many times there's a protocol. You tell your stage manager, there's a phone, somebody's videoing, they call house management sends down an usher. So that goes on all the time. And then when I was pushed to stop, when I was pushed to stop in Gypsy, I was loaded for bear. It was, the character leads up to Rose's turn for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. It was an automatic shutter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so, I was already, on the edge of a lot of emotion. And I just thought, that was the first time. But in Shows for Days, I never snatched that phone. I disagree with that. It was sleight of hand. I put my hand on her shoulder. I was looking her in the eye, and I just sort of palmed the phone. And when I got off stage, it went, I got the phone! I couldn't believe
the magician in you.
I couldn't believe I got the phone, and the stage manager was up in, I don't know where they are in the Mitzi Newhouse. They're higher up, and because I gave it to the second AD, and a second, manager, and I could hear in their phone, whatever those things are. She got it, yay, Patti, whatever. It was, and she looked like she was an educated, very pretty woman, middle-aged woman, very well dressed. What the fuck? What are you doing? And it was the reverse too, because the man she was with, her husband, her boyfriend, was watching the show, and she was ordering online. She never put the phone down. But it's gotten better, and the ushers have been more vigilant about it, and audiences have been more vigilant about it. Right.
Yeah, because even in the scenario where like you're a doctor on call, you can get a text and walk out, take the text and leave. You don't have to sit there talking or texting or. Okay, so now.
Wait a minute, do you know that joke? The phone goes off. Hello? I'm at the theater.
Oh God. Oh, okay. So now we get to the third time I met Patti LuPone, and this is when we actually got to work together.
Yeah.
And we did Annie Get Your Gun at Ravinia, and oh gosh, do we have pictures? Show these pictures of us. I know we have photographs. He's looking for them. Oh, there we are. So there you are. And
what was that one though? What is that song with the gun? Oh, it's just the contest.
It's
just a contest.
I can't get a man with a gun. Oh no, that's you and I doing the shooting contest.
Yeah,
right?
contest.
And George Hearn played Buffalo Bill.
Right. Yeah.
Look at that.
We were good.
We were so good, and I had the most, and I was in heaven. My fantasy had come true to get to work with you and not just get to work with you. Okay. I got to romance you. I got to kiss you. I got to compete against you, and I got to lose against you. It was absolutely phenomenal.
But can you remember the night at the Hole in the Wall with Frank Gallo?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I get that all the time. I go, that night was so spectacular. That night
it was amazing. And you told me about that. You had educated me about all that and him, and amazing.
How we just, that's the thing about camaraderie in the theaters. You hope that I hope that every time I'm in a company that it's going to be that kind of copacetic love affair, as opposed to the opposite. You hope that because we pass through each other's lives so intensely and so quickly. And then it's over. And
I've said that too. You pray for, when you're working with a leading lady, you pray for that trust, that ability to be on stage, and that you're going to throw the ball back and they're going to catch it. They're there for you, and that they'll throw it back and you're there for them. And it's a very odd thing because if it doesn't line up, it can be very difficult going to work every day. I've been in that situation too. Yeah. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all, and then those real acting skills take it, They
do, but it's hard. It's just harder work. But now, Patrick, I'm at a point in my life, in my career, where I go, if I'm not having a good time, I'm just going to quit the show. Mm-hmm. And I don't want anybody to get fired on my account, but I can't invest that much time in unhappiness.
Right.
I mean, it's a subjective business, so we put everything that our emotional lives allow into it. So to then have to combat something that has nothing to do with you or the play.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But you're right. And that is the one great thing about age. I'll say the same thing, is that you go, I don't need it. I don't need it. I have so many people I'd rather hang out with,
Yeah.
Okay, so you have this, one of the most monumental careers ever in the theater and in film, but in the theater. And all of a sudden now, you get this offer to do this Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the #1 show. I don't know if you know this, during the pandemic, it was one of the #1 shows on Netflix for a while. I watched it all. I was like, holy smokes. And what a part.
Yeah, it was a good part.
What
the best part I ever had on camera.
Ryan Murphy, who created Glee, Ryan Murphy, who created American Horror Story, Ryan Murphy, who created Nip Tuck. I mean, he's a genius, right? So you get this. How did you get the role? How did it all happen?
The way Ryan hands out cards. I got a call. I was doing Pose. I got a call to do Pose on my first day of Pose. Tanase Popa, who's Ryan's right-hand man, said, "What are you doing in September?" "Nothing. Why?" Hi. And he said that Ryan wants to write a role for you in Hollywood. And I thought, okay, my age, and it's already, in the idea has already germinated, so I don't know what I'm going to do in it. But then he told me one of the scenes that he wanted to make me the leading lady, but he told me what he told me what the story was going to be. I'm unhappily married. I'm a failed actress. I'm unhappily married. He dies. I get the studio. That was the arc of the character. Mm-hmm. And then I guess he filled it out a little bit. Oh, he did say there would be sex scenes. Yeah. I said, finally.
How long have I waited for these?
That's right.
And by the way,
I have to tell you this, Patrick. It's all so different with the Me Too movement. And I'm just saying how it is. We were so padded, and they have a what do they call him? A sex coordinator? A sex choreographer?
Like a sex choreographer?
I'm trying to remember what they call him. It's some weird name, because we also had it on Company. And I went, you know what? I think I know what I'm doing. I'm a trained actor, but okay, what do you want? I don't know what, they're there to make you comfortable. But I was fortunate that I had two very sensitive, because my sex scene with Dylan McDermott was cut, but two very sensitive and responsible actors,
right,
I worked with. And it was sort of like, just get it over with. It's not fun. You've done sex scenes. They're not fun.
It says an intimacy coordinator. Is that it?
They're not fun. They're work.
No, you're right.
I said to Dylan when ours was done, which was sexier than the other ones, I said, that was strangely unsexy.
Yeah. It's true, because there's so many of them are Nancy Allen says loved her in Hollywood.
Thank you, Nancy.
It's technical. It's technical. Okay, Patrick, you're going to turn your head over here. Now you're going to kiss. Keep your eyes over there. But no, we can't see your mouth, Patrick. Turn around. It becomes like that.
Yeah. And it was it was disappointing.
Well, wait. Well, we have one of the scenes that's not the sex scene. We have a scene that we want to show from Hollywood. Patti LuPone in Hollywood. Wow. Wow. Hands down. The best scene in the entire show.
Thank you.
It's great, Patti. It's so great to watch you work. But I mean, Melissa and I sat on the couch and watched every one of those scenes, and including the famous staircase scene, which I have to tell you was just as dramatic. It was fantastic. And if you haven't seen Hollywood, the staircase scene.
It's like, give me more, Gina, is all I can say. Give me more. Give me more.
Oh gosh. Okay. There are very few people, and I'm sure you get this all the time. I mean, I know you, and I work with you, and I feel this love and this, but there are very few people that are icons in the theater. You're one. You're an icon in the theater.
Oh, thanks. I didn't say because I was an icon in the theater. It's just that they don't exist anymore.
No, they don't.
No.
And you have, yes, you've done a huge amount of television and film, and but you created a career, a very successful career, an iconic career in the theater. That doesn't happen.
Right. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Well, but Patrick, for many reasons, it doesn't happen, or for two. For many or two. The first, let me see how I can phrase this. They don't write roles for a specific performer the way they did for Mary Martin, for Ethel Merman,
for my father. Same thing.
Exactly right. They don't write roles for that particular actor. They write musicals, and then you are, either in the mix or not.
One of many on the revolving turntable.
And then they don't write the roles that I've played are like unbelievable. They're like larger than life roles. When you think about Madame Rose and you think about Evita and you think about Nellie Lovett, they are larger than life characters, which sort of helps with that image of an icon. But they've also sort of eliminated the star system in theater, where they don't want the actor to be more important than the play. And also, then the other aspect of this is people use Broadway as a stepping stone for Hollywood. And I have just always stayed on the stage. And I'll tell you the truth. I've always gone, why don't I go to Hollywood? I happen to love Los Angeles. I love not LA so much. I love California. California is, I can't wait. It's so beautiful. My favorite part of California is Northern California, PCH, Northern California, Mendocino North. And someday
it's, by the way, so overcrowded now. It's because everybody loves California,
Yeah. But so the roles, the fact that my career is close to 50 years.
That's amazing.
On the stage.
That's amazing.
I'm still here, basically. What are they going to say? When I hit a certain age and they were starting to call me legend, we were going, yep, it's because I'm so old. What else are they going to call me? But that, and there's a reality to that as well. I stayed in the business.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Thanks.
You are so iconic that I want to show one other little clip of you with the people of New York City at the stage door of Hamilton with Lin-Manuel Miranda. And it's just, I wanted to show a piece of it. And there you are with Lin-Manuel Miranda, who is the Prince of Broadway now, and Hamilton and all of that. And you see him and how he just does what you did to my mother to you, as we all do. So let's look at this little clip. I don't need to say anymore. There's New York City. There's Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's Patti LuPone.
He did this wonderful thing, and Lin is just an innovator in every respect, and has just emanates love, 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 and that's, God bless him.
Yeah.
But he did this thing where they had the lottery, and thank you. They had this lottery, and so they'd always have a group of people in front of the stage door, I think on a Wednesday matinee. I don't know, it could be Thursday, Tuesday, I don't know, but they always had those people, and what Lin did was entertain them.
Oh, it's so great.
And somebody would come and sing a song, or some of the kids from the cast would come out and do something, and then he asked me if I would, and I thought, you know what, give my regards to Broadway. What else?
Patti LuPone comes out of the stage door
singing "Give My Regards to Broadway." What Broadway? Where's Broadway?
Yeah. I want to talk a couple last things. First, I want to talk about company, because tell us, you were about to open, right, on Broadway?
Yeah. We were, I think, I don't know. Happy anniversary, everybody! March 12th, 6 months COVID. We shut down March 12th, and we would have opened on Steve's birthday, March 22nd.
Oh my gosh!
2 days from opening, and we had just had, those Brits can drink, our entire creative staff. And one of my dressing rooms, where were we? The Jacobs, I beg your pardon, the Royale. Excuse me, Bernie, but it's the Royale. The dressing rooms are pathetic. They're really bad. But I had 2 rooms on the first level, one room I made up and one room that I was sleeping, but it was the bed they put in there was really, really big, so you could get maybe 5 people in there comfortable. The entire cast would come in, and we would, if Marianne was having a drink that night, the entire cast would come in. And we had one of those nights. We had one of those nights where we were drinking and just having a ball. And then the next night, I think they said,
That's it.
Word, we're shutting down. And Chris Harper, the producer, said it was about 2.5, 3 weeks. We had heard stuff on the street because we heard the word COVID, we heard coronavirus, and then we heard that an usher at the booth where Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf
Had contracted the virus?
had it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we heard, so it's on the street now, on 45th between 7th and 8th. And then we heard that many members of the Moulin Rouge company
Right.
crossed the avenue. And then when they shut us down, and we thought, okay, we'll be back in 2-3 weeks maybe. So then the Schubert said, you can go in and, get personal stuff. I was filled with such anxiety because we didn't know anything about it. We didn't know how it was transmitted. And my son was with me, and I was very, very nervous. I just had a lot of anxiety. And when I left the theater, when I walked across the stage, they had a ghost light on, and it looked like a day off.
Mm-hmm.
Water bottle on the stage manager's prompt table, everything, glasses in my little room after the parties were dirty. It looked like a day off. And I said goodbye to the Royale, and I said goodbye to the Jacobs. I said, excuse me, goodbye to the Royale. And then I burst into tears like I'm about to do right now, because I basically said goodbye to my life in the theater. I have no idea if we'll come back. I don't know when we'll come back. I said to Marianne, by the time we come back, I'll be blind in a wheelchair. And guess what? That may come to pass. It's not, they can't do social distancing in the theater.
I know. Not in those theaters where you're like this up against each other. And,
Or two. I mean, the nut of I don't know what the nut of our show is, but if they can't make the nut, the weekly nut.
And the margin is, I know this now, being an artistic director, the margin is this much when they have full capacity to make money.
Yeah.
It's it's a very small, there's very few Hamiltons or Wickeds, or they just, they don't exist.
Well, see, that's another problem with Broadway these days. Everybody's banking on another Hamilton, another Wicked, another Mamma Mia, and they don't do it for the love of the theater. They don't encourage, or they don't support brand new composers and lyricists and playwrights. They try for that one hit. And then it's, what we're seeing, it looks like Las Vegas to me. It doesn't look like Broadway or New York theater anymore.
No.
It looks like Las Vegas. And it's like, I don't even want to be there anymore. I really don't, because it doesn't represent what I trained for. It doesn't represent theater.
Yeah, but I remember too. You're in Connecticut, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if
anybody's curious as to why the ladder is.
Oh, wait, we did get a couple of comments. So tell us, Miss LuPone.
I climb it every night and to jump off it. Now we have very high tall windows, and they have electric blinds, battery operated blinds, and one of them won't close, so we have to change the battery system.
And you do this?
Oh my God. But we ran out of batteries because it's time to, change the batteries in all of them.
Thank you, Robin. We love you too. That's okay. Well, if I can get to Connecticut, I promise I'm a little taller than you. I would be more than happy to jump up there.
It's a tall one. It's up there. It's
so we play another. It's 3 a.m. in Italy.
Hi. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay, so we play another game in the show. It's called You Become the Host, and you get to ask me only one question, anything you want to ask.
Patrick, you're such a handsome man.
Oh no, I'm in trouble now.
And you're a sexy man? How many women have you bedded?
Oh no! Who came up with this game? Who ever thought of this game? Well, one only
I think you're a devil.
one only substantial one, and that's my wife.
Best answer. Oh, good for you.
One only substantial. Great question. Oh gosh, why aren't I on Entertainment Tonight right now? I want to leave our audience with something, as you were talking about company. I want to show our audience a clip of you in Company. You play Joanne, and I got to. I think I might have told you this. I played Bobby too. I got to do him when I was 30. I always wished I'd done him even later, but I got to do it. And Carol Burnett played Joanne.
Oh my. No, but this production that you're seeing is not the production that we've done. And Marianne has gender bent it. Bobby is now a woman. And so the conversation that I have with Bobby is two women talking to each other.
Right.
And I think there might be a different inflection in the song or different attitude in the song.
This is the one with Neil Patrick Harris, right? Yeah. And our friend Lonnie Price directed this, yes?
Right.
So I want to show this, and I'm showing it in its entirety just because it's so great and it's so important. So we here at Studio 10 would like to propose a toast to you.
Oh, thank you.
Patti LuPone.
I'd like to propose a toast. Here's to the ladies who lunch. Everybody laugh. Lounging in their caftans and planning a brunch on their own behalf. Off to the gym, then to a fitting, claiming their facts and looking grim, 'cause they've been sitting, choosing a hat. Does anyone still wear a hat? I'll drink to that. Here's to the girls who stay smart, aren't they a gas? Rushing to their classes in optical arts, wishing it would pass. Another long, exhausting day, another $1,000. A matinee or pinter fame, perhaps a piece of olives. I'll drink to that. And one for Mahler. Here's to the girls who play wife, aren't they too much? Keeping house but clutching a copy of life just to keep in touch. The ones who follow the rules and meet themselves at the schools, too busy to know that they're fools, or if they a girl, I'll take a nap. Let's all drink to that. And here's to the girls who just watch. Aren't they the best? When they get depressed, it's a bottle of scotch plus a little jest. Another chance to disapprove. Another brilliant singer. Another reason not to move. Another vodka stinger. Drink to that. So here's to the girls
on the go. Everybody tries. Look into their eyes and you'll see what they know. Everybody dies. A toast to that invincible bunch. The dinosaur is surviving the crunch. Let's hear it for the ladies who lunch. Everybody rise! 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 Rise!
She was very sad. She was mad and sad.
I cannot thank you enough as my friend for gracing us with your talent and just you, the person you are, a remarkable human being.
Oh, Patrick. Well, you know I love you. And thank you for your compliments. But you know I love you and I'd do anything for you.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best success for the theater.
Thank you.
And I hope, I hope that, it's successful, and I hope you find a way to do a season in this insanity.
It is what we battle with every day of how to figure it out. It's a constant, and it's always a moving target. Unfortunately, that's the real difficult thing, is how do we win? Can we do it today? Okay, if we do this, but then it moves and it moves, and so, but we won't give up. We won't give up, and we will have. I will call on you again, and I'll say now you are safe, and you can come here, and we can listen to you in person, and we can do all the things that.
I'd love to see you. I'd love to just see
I'd love to see you too. I love you.
I love you too, Patrick.
So much. You are such a joy, and I can't thank you enough. And I'll drink to you anytime.
Well, let's go out and have a few. Be
Yeah.
safe. Be
You
sane. Have
You
some
too.
fun if you can.
Thanks, sweetheart. Give my love to your family.
Your my love back to yours.
Wow. What an evening. What an evening. I thank you so much to Jennifer Turner from TPAC. Thank you so much to Patti, and thank you all for tuning in. Thank you. Oh, thank you. It is an amazing time just to hang with her, as I'm sure you guys all saw. Thank you, honey. She's my wife says, thank you, Patti. Love you. Yes, a true, beautiful Italian woman. She is that, Zach, and more. Thank you, Pat and Patti, for an awesome show tonight. Thank you, Teresa. It has been amazing. And I want to remind you all that at Studio Tenn, we survive on donations and we survive on ticket sales. And right now the ticket sales are far and few between. So please, it's right there below you. Please give us your donations. We will have many more people on this show if you do. And in fact, next week, we have Lisa Mordante and her mother, Cheetah Rivera, on. So it'll be a mother-daughter thing. And I know something about the mother-son thing, but we're going to talk to her about so much more. So thank you all for our new evening. Monday nights, those of you who don't watch Monday Night Football, you come and watch Studio Tenn Talks. I don't have a goodbye song tonight because I'm just so thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled that you're all here. Thank you so much, John. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Chris Kimbler from Los Angeles. I send my love to you. Good night, everybody.